In 2024, your inbox is a battleground. Dozens of e-commerce brands are fighting for the same eyeballs inside your customer's inbox. What this means is that the kind of e-commerce brands that buyers favor is actually changing. Consumption patterns are changing, people are consuming media differently, and that means we have to change our approach to email marketing if we want to have high conversion rates. In this video, I'm going to go through everything in terms of the latest changes to email marketing so you can scale your brand to 7 or 8 figures. Something I'm sure you've noticed if you're signed up to a number of e-commerce brands' email lists is that so many brands just rely on sales pitch emails, which leads us to the first change, which is that currently everyone is still pitching in the inbox. The reason for this is that as e-commerce in general has become more and more competitive, you have an increasing number of brands fighting for the same amount of market share. This leads to a slippery slope scenario where brands become increasingly desperate for sales and resort to implementing tacky strategies when it comes to their email marketing. This largely explains why you probably see so many payday sales and flash sales and buy one get one free BOGO sales in your inbox. Over time, more and more brands just pitch inside the inbox to remain competitive and use increasingly outlandish offers, which is what we refer to as a commoditized brand. Trust me when I say you do not want to be in this position. When I say commoditized brand, this is because your customers and leads who are in your email list, they view your brand as a commodity because of the kind of messaging that you're sending them. This then leads to them engaging in bargain hunting strategies where they'll only shop with your brand if they see an offer or a sale. What you need to do is position your brand better and brand build within a lot of your email marketing efforts so that you can avoid this commoditized positioning. What we recommend for all of our clients is to build your email marketing calendar in such a way where you're positioning the brand properly, building the brand, showing off your reviews, showing off your USPs, who loves the brand, and then giving value about 80% of the time relative to selling. While you may think that this will lead to lower revenue, we've seen this to have the exact opposite effect over the long term for our clients. When your list isn't used to getting sales and gets emails that they want to receive, that's when the magic happens. These people are now fully invested into your brand and don't see you as a bargain solution. So when you push someone to purchase, you will have far greater results than you would otherwise. And if you were to ever run a sale on a rare occasion, you will have such an incredible reaction to it because it's such a rare thing for your customer and they realize it as such. This means that your conversion rates and revenue driven from that sale will be exponentially larger than if it's a common occurrence. Right now, you want to focus on what we call evergreen emails as the backbone of your strategy. An evergreen email does 3 things. It's an email that can sell, it can drive revenue, it doesn't discount, and it can be used at any time of year. These are generally the backbone of the email strategy for our client campaigns, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples that you can run for your brand. The first we call the myth campaign. This is where you look at an accepted facet of your industry, poke at it, and show how you don't engage with it. For example, if you are a fashion brand and you make all of your stuff in Italy, well, you can say that a lot of fashion houses like Dior and Prada make their stuff in Northern Africa, ship it to Italy, put the labels in Italy, and then say made in Italy. You can then show how your products are actually made all in Italy. So you can say this is the myth about the industry, that these are actually luxury products, but they're not, whereas ours are. That drives revenue, it can be used at any time of year, and doesn't discount. Another example would be a gift guide. Show the best products that someone can buy for someone else. You can do this for Valentine's Day, you can do it for Christmas, you can do a birthday gift guide. And finally, you can look at a simple problem to solution campaign. Call out a problem that your customer may be facing based on the demographic that they're in, based on what you're selling them and what problem you're actually fixing, and then just call out how your product fixes that problem for them. Very simple, and once again fits our trio, which is that it can drive revenue, be used at any time of year, and it doesn't discount. The second massive shift we've noticed recently is that minimalistic email designs seem to be winning out almost across the board. Loud and brash designs used to outperform everything in 2020, but that's not the case anymore. And you can see examples of this with industry-leading brands such as True Classic, Jones's Road Beauty, Represent Glow, and many, many more. So here's how you can actually execute on having a minimalistic design with all of the elements that we touched on. You want to have a clean layout. This means you're utilizing white space effectively, creating a design that's easy to navigate and pleasing to the eye. Next thing is that you want to have clear typography. You want to use easy to read fonts and minimal text to convey messages succinctly and clearly. Next, you want to make sure that you're enhancing readability. Simplified designs improve readability, especially on mobile devices with limited screen space. You also want to have a simplified color scheme where you adopt a minimal color palette to avoid visual clutter and maintain that focus on the actual content of the email. And minimalistic designs help do this because they reduce distractions and allow the core message to stand out more within the email. Another side benefit that you're actually going to have from having minimalistic email designs is you're actually going to have faster load times inside the inbox. The second someone opens up their email, it's going to load fully for them. There'll be no lag time. They're way more likely to click and actually convert. The final shift that we've really noticed is that you need to focus on mobile like never before. Everyone is on their phone more than ever, and they also shop on their phone more than ever before. This makes it extremely important to adapt and think of everything in a mobile first way. Some estimates say that up to 78% of email opens are now on mobile, and we've seen anecdotally with our clients that up to 90% of their traffic and email opens are actually on mobile as well. The trend could not be any more clear. If you don't optimize for mobile first, you are wasting effort, wasting resource, wasting money, and missing out on conversions that otherwise would have happened. Something we speak about internally at our agency policy is what we call the desktop bias. This is something you really need to bear in mind. The desktop bias occurs because we design emails primarily on a desktop computer, and then this leads to a bias where we think that someone else is going to read the email on a desktop computer, which 9 times out of 10, just like we've seen, is not going to be the case. This means that we need to avoid that bias and design mobile first, and always bear in mind that people are going to be seeing this on mobile primarily. Once you have the desktop bias in mind, I'm going to give you 4 actionable tips on optimizing those emails for mobile. First is that your content needs to be center aligned and fit into the email on mobile first. Then you can switch to web view and ensure everything looks right on desktop afterwards. The second is to keep an eye on left and right padding, because this allows the email to be rescaled very easily. The next thing you want to look at is making sure that content on images and breakers, such as text, needs to be readable first on mobile, and then check if they're readable on web view afterwards. And finally, you want to do your quality control check on mobile first always. When you're about to send, run through the quality control check process on mobile first, and then do it on desktop second to ensure that everything is good to go. Now that you know what changes to make, how do you actually execute on it? That's why I created an hours-long course on how to do email marketing for e-commerce brands in 2024 and beyond. Click on this video over here to check it out. You will not regret it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.